All right, everybody, we are in fact ready to go. We are set up. We are ready to party. So, Lonely, take it away with Castlevania Order of Ecclesia. Let me know if that is a real or a fake Castlevania title.
What's up, everybody? I'm Lonely. Also call me Bro. This is Castlevania Order of Ecclesia. Definitely the realest Castlevania title there is. It's gonna be Shinoa Glitchless. Basically like the main character of the game with none of the major game-breaking glitches. I am ready to go on a countdown if we're good. All right.
As far as I know, we're ready to party.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so like I said, this is going to be Order of Ecclesia glitchless. About a year ago, or maybe like 9 months ago, a lot of glitches for this game were found. Glitchless was like the any percent run until about, like I said, 9 months ago, which brought the run from about 50 minutes to about 25 minutes, so basically cut in half. But this is what the run is going to look like before all those glitches were found. So starting off in Ecclesia, which is like the tutorial area for our purposes. Does my commentator want to introduce themselves?
Yeah, so sorry, my name is Spirit Kuribon. Yeah, it's all good. I was waiting for you to finish, but yeah. I'm Spirit Kuribon. I run this category too, and I really like this game, and I will be trying to help out with commentary. So starting off, we have a form movement called backdash canceling that Lonely's going to be doing at the start here. Basically, all she's doing is she's backdashing and then using the rapier glyph, or confidere, to basically cancel the end lag of the backdash and have a quick burst of speed throughout the start of this area. Along with that, she's going to be damage boosting a lot, as we'll see soon. The reason why we're doing that is mainly because when Shinoa gets hit in the air, the iframe she has from those hits is they last a pretty good amount of time, so we can use that to just backdash cancel through most rooms and ignore a lot of enemies' hitboxes.
I was not told that I was hosting for a Super Smash Bros. Game. What's this I hear about dash canceling and backdashing?
Yeah.
Well, so right now we're going to see it pretty insanely here with Magnus canceling. And yeah, this is like the fastest move in the game, like, by far. Aside from a few other things later on, which we'll see, which are even crazier. But yeah, so with this, we're basically hitting Magnus and backdash on the same frame, essentially, at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's allowing us to also move pretty fast through here.
I actually play with a modified control scheme that lets me Magnus dash faster. It's swapped X and Y and L and R are swapped on the controls.
A peek behind the curtain that it took me until the first time I saw you do that trick to be like, yeah, there's a really good chance I'm gonna vote that we put this into the event.
Yeah.
I was watching the submission video and saw that movement and was like, this is the best movement I've ever seen in my life. I love this game.
Alright, going up to our first box here. I'm going to be going for the Glyph Union, trying to get all 4 hits in. The Glyph Union for the Rapier is a 4-hit, like Rose attack.
Yeah, and the way we get those 4 hits in, the way we get those 4 hits in is we have to be super close to Roberta, that's the name of the boss. If we're a bit far away, we'll only land 3 hits, and that will cause us to miss around like 3 hits of 17 damage, ending the boss in a lot of a slower pace comparatively. And I think that's like kind of a recent find. I don't think I saw people before in the past getting the 4 hits on Ecclesia, but
when like I was first doing this.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty good fight there. I don't think Anthrovera rolled at all.
He didn't roll
if that boss rolls. Oh, okay, yeah. Generally that attack wastes time, but it's honestly not that big of a deal. Yeah, so we're about to leave the first area here, and we're going to go into the main map of this game. So basically Ecclesia is split up into different areas on the map that we can select. We have to get through all of them in order to beat the game. Here we're going to be saving our first villager, which is important for the true ending later. There's like 10 villagers we have to save throughout the game in order to also get the true ending.
And while I was in Monastery, I did pick up some chests, and I did get a magical ticket, which is really good. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so the magical ticket is probably the second most important item in this game, aside from Magnus right here. And the reason why is because it allows us to instantly warp back into the village that we were just in. And that allows us to cut down a lot of backtracking and going to the exit areas of each area in the game. And along with that, we generally want to get one in the starting intro, and Lonely just got two, I think.
Yeah.
One from the start and one here. And that's going to allow us later to really make a shopping trip a lot more, a lot easier to do, and make our routing a lot more precise and quick later.
Yeah, it saves about 20 seconds in the mid game. Maybe not that much, but it saves time in the mid game to get a magical ticket in our way.
Yeah. In recent times, that ticket has broken this game like completely. There's crazy glitches you can do with it, like making Shinoa go super fast and like saving inside the boss rush mode of this game. It's really crazy.
If you want to
here
see
we
some
don't
of
use any of
those,
that.
you can donate for our glitch demo.
Yeah.
A glitch demo, you say?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah, we have an incentive for the glitch demo, and I'm going to show off some of the glitches. Some that are used in any percent speedruns, some that are not. But they're all pretty cool, so you definitely want to get your donations in to see that.
They're really cool to see, and they're also really fun to play once you get pretty used to them, so I would definitely recommend trying to see that and donate for that.
Ooh. Donations like this $15 from fellow marathon ARPGME.
Exactly.
I love that marathon. Yeah, I've run for that marathon before. They're good folks.
Nice.
They say, I hear there are some ARPGs over here, and we're helping doggos, GL Lonely, and to the rest of the runners, and those all involved in the event.
Thank you.
And that went not only toward that glitch exhibition, getting us 1/4 of the way to seeing those glitches, but it also went toward Korean for the Death's Door language. And I've been running Death's Door for like 5 years or more, and I just realized I've never seen it in Korean before. So, as it stands, I will see it in Korean tonight. But if you want to change that, get those donations in for those other language options.
Alright, so here we have Giant Skeleton. Basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using Magnus to hang up above him and force him to shuffle in the back, basically. So what happens is that Giant Skeleton has his front leg there, and once it hits the back of his, like, right next to the door, you want to be holding the up input to make him continuously walk backwards, and that allows us to just pretty much get a free kill on him, and it's a pretty smooth fight. Continuing on the prison here, we are going to be damage boosting more through these spear guards, which can be pretty dangerous because they tend to move their spear upward and knock Shinoa back. But overall, we have two pretty good runes there.
Can you save in here?
Yeah. We were talking about those magical tickets earlier. If you don't end up getting them in the first 2 areas, you can actually get your last chance to get a second one here, which is really useful and nice, like, backup if you need to. One thing we didn't mention earlier is that Lonely actually picked up the Messier Union, which is a hammer union, or hammer glyph, and that glyphs are basically how Shinoa attacks in this game. We wanted to pick up that hammer because it actually does a lot of damage with strike attributes to like skeletons and anything weak to strike, and that's how we were able to kill that giant skeleton earlier really quickly.
And here we're going to get the first piece of Dominus. The Dominus glyphs are basically Dracula's soul or something. They are Dracula's attacks, and using them because we're human drains our HP, but they're really powerful, so we definitely want to use them for some quick kills.
Now, I don't know anything about Castlevania lore, so why don't we just become a vampire and drain our HP?
Well, unfortunately, Shinoa is like pretty much just a human, and she's not like Alucard, where he's half human, half vampire. She really has nothing special going on for her besides like crazy training with
Is
these
he
glyphs.
half vampire by birth, or by like he drank a little bit of vampire blood?
I think it's by birth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Dracula's
Okay.
just dead.
Yeah.
That'd be wild if like when you get turned, they can decide how much. They're like, all right, so do you want me to go like the whole thing, or just like
That'd be crazy.
just a little bit of vampire? Tasteful amount.
Here we're gonna kill a really dangerous enemy called the Tin Man. That will, right now, it won't one-shot Lonely because she's at 96 health, but if she was lower than 80, it would have one-shot her. But luckily we kill it really quickly with the Messier Union. Those demons nearby can kind of troll you and hit you, and then you get hit by both of them and die. But luckily that didn't happen, and we pick up the Strength Ring, which is a glyph, which is the ring that allows Shino to get a lot more strength in her stats, and that lets us do a lot more damage with physical glyphs like the Messier and other glyphs later on. And here we're coming up on a really silly fight called the Crab, or Rakuya is its actual name.
Gonna go for a strap.
Just a giant little crab here.
We can skip attacks with this crab by doing enough damage. It's pretty tricky though. Go for it. Build a double hit.
Oh, gang, I've got some great news.
Yep.
We have opened a new milestone to collect the Leprechaun hat in Stardew Valley.
Nice.
If we hit $1,100 raised for Go Rescue Pet Adoption Center, then we will get Leprechaun hats in Stardew Valley. And if every dollar of that 75 that we need to get there gets put toward the glitch exhibition, we will also get a glitch exhibition. What more do you want, chat? It's a 3-for-1 deal. You get language choice, you get the glitch exhibition, you get the Leprechaun hat, you get to see Lonely break Castlevania Order of Ecclesiastical. I don't know.
I agree with all that.
I don't know what else you want. Was that close?
Yeah,
That didn't sound sincere.
I actually didn't know ecclesiastical was a word before I played this game.
Well, I was raised Catholic, so I did.
Nice.
So I got 2 of the 3 phase skips. Pretty good.
Yeah, so you basically need to do enough damage during each phase to skip the crab not instantly going to its red phase and just wasting time just doing random attacks on the wall. But here we're going to crush it with an elevator because it's really mean. And there we go. So now we're going to get our next villager, and we're actually going to go to an underwater area here. One thing I didn't mention earlier is that Lonely, she's opening these yellow chests here, and she's leaving as soon as the item appears, and we'll just skip a small little text prompt that will stop her. That will pause Shino's movement for a second. So this is the Caldas channel. It's basically just like an underwater area. We're going to be taking advantage a lot of our Magus canceling again, and also the new Dominus Hatred glyph that basically just one-shots everything in this early game. Like those needles right there.
This was my favorite Donkey Kong Country level.
Also, Lonely picked up some hard max-ups earlier. Those contribute to her union damage on the top. Like those strong attacks, like the giant hammer and stuff we've been seeing. Each of those take up hearts, and we want to pick up hard max-ups in order to facilitate the use of those. And there's safety save here.
Yeah, saving.
And if only wants to talk about this next glitch.
Yeah. While I grab it, I'll just say saving is really fast in this game, especially on the Dominus collection, so thankfully safety saves don't even waste that much time in those. It's really nice for marathon. And yeah, if you want to talk about that glyph I picked up, it's quite an important one.
Yeah, so that is the Scudden glyph. It's basically a shield glyph, essentially. It increases Shinoa's defense by a lot, especially if you have two of them equipped, because one thing I don't think we touched on is that Shinoa has two hands in this game, and that allows her to use two attacks at once. So if you have two shields on, it gives you a ton of defense. And we're going to be taking advantage of that to damage boost through a lot of enemies later. And also, it has a really broken union that pretty much gives us iframes to walk through anything without worrying about their hitboxes.
Horse came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that horse can be kind of mean. Those stalagmites, they fall down and you have to jump across. It can like clip you if you're too slow.
I don't know that I've ever heard somebody say stalagmite with so much confidence. That was beautiful. Like, I feel like it always comes with the stalag upside down ones, right? Maybe?
I honestly don't know the
like, no, I
difference.
know.
No, I definitely don't. I just kind of winged it there.
No.
Here's our third villager, Laura. So
That
that's like
slide
3
was
out of
so
7.
smart, and then I got drilled.
Yeah, this area kind of sucks because like these winged skeletons going around, they're RNG and they spawn like on the edges of the map, and the edges of the map are also where you need to be jumping to progress. And health is a really important thing in this run right now because we don't have a lot of it, and with all the damage boosting we're doing, we really don't want to be getting hit by anything unnecessary. So
Yeah.
those guys can be big run killers.
Yeah, to piggyback off that, in this game you need to unlock potions in the shop via quest. That takes too much time to really do in a speedrun at this level. There are beginner routes that unlock the potions in the shop, but that's just a minute or so.
Yeah, there's a really mean shopkeeper that just doesn't allow you to buy potions unless you help someone else. He only offers meat, so. Here we picked up a stronger version of our hammer. It's called the Bull Monsieur, and it's going to be useful in this next area where we're going to be killing a bunch of enemies that are weak to it. And right there, actually, you saw Lonely use 2 shields to block damage from that really giant boss-like enemy there. Normally, if you go through that without the shield, it would do like 60-ish damage for you, but with the shield, we kind of cut that in half. And if you do 2, it cuts it by a third. And here's the hardest area of early game, called Skeleton Cave, if Lonely wants to go into that.
Yeah, so lots of scary enemies come here, especially the T-Rexes. And the T-Rexes are especially scary because if I take damage boost through them on the ground, I will get hit twice for about 30 damage. And I don't want to do that, so I'm going to try and get hit by them in the air. And there's also the skeletons that can double hit me and just drain my HP if I let them get a hit on.
Yeah, those like sword enemies there too, they can be really mean too. At the start there were 2 of them and they're really hard to maneuver around without getting hit, like jumping between them. Lonely managed to do it though, which was pretty good. And here's our first T-Rex enemy we're about to see. Yeah, these guys are scary.
I have good HP though, which is good for the final room. Final room has 2 T-Rexes. Nice.
Oh, that's a good pattern right there. So yeah, the T-Rexes, sometimes they can do a giant leap over Shinoa, and you can use the opportunity to slide under them, which is always nice. And here we have Maneater, honestly a really simple boss. We kind of just wail on him with the Bull Monsieur union, and then we use our Dominus to finish him off in another 2 hits. Or 3. Yeah.
I want to kill him.
It can be debatable.
Stream, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes
killing him low on the screen allows him to just despawn a lot faster.
Sometimes it takes 2 Dominus uses, and sometimes it takes 3, so it can be hard to read.
Yeah. And we just got an ordinary rock that allows us to double jump. Just a regular old rock that gives us Shinoa the possibility to double jump. Pretty cool. And we're going to be using it to progress. After getting this hard max up here.
Next couple minutes of the run is going to be villager collecting. Basically just a few that were gated behind double jump.
Yeah.
Something we haven't talked about yet is the glyph sleeve. You could...
Oh yeah, sure. So the glyph sleeve, I think everyone has seen those like letters on the top left, like ABC, Lonely's been switching between. All that basically is that it allows for different glyph loadouts and different attack loadouts that Shino can use, and you can just switch on them on the fly. Because one thing about this game, it tries to prioritize experimentation and using different weaknesses to enemies. So we take advantage of this glyph sleeve by just having like our shield on a certain slot and our attacks on a different slot, so we can easily switch between them in order to make our movement more efficient.
Also where the route starts to deviate a bit depending on if you got a ticket in early game.
Yeah. That's like probably the major like RNG factor of this run, I would say, like in a broad sense. There's a lot of minor RNG here and there. But if you don't get a ticket at the start, you have to actually do these areas in a different order, and it can end up being like 20 seconds slower. Here we're gonna collect a bit more money, and then we're going to save our next villager. And grabbing, I think, the only MP max up in the entire one here.
There's one in Monastery too, but yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
The only other one. And the only shopping trip of the run. In my run.
Welcome. Hey, want to buy something?
Yeah, here we're just gonna stock on magical tickets and healing,
Come back again.
which is gonna be very important for later. Because, as I said, health in this game in this run is really scary, so we want to have enough healing to get by everything. And now we are into the Somnus Reef, which is the next water area of this game. This is a pretty scary area, if only because there's a lot of enemies in this, like that giant starfish we just saw that can poison you. Poison is a very bad debuff in this game. It constantly drains health and lowers all your attack and defensive stats. So if you get hit by that, you're kind of in a bad spot, and you have to like adapt to dealing with those lower stats. So hopefully it doesn't happen here.
You can get poisoned once and be fine, but definitely something you prefer to not happen.
Yeah. Also, these starfish have a really weird hitbox. Like, the edges of their like legs or whatever starfish have, I don't know if they're legs or not, but the edges of them, you can kind of just like, they don't do damage to you. The hitbox is mostly on the inside. So you can kind of like squeeze by them, like in between them, if you're precise enough.
And using that shield with Union to go through the starfish, right?
Yeah. Which, as I said, gives you iframes for a short amount of time, so you can just go through everything. And we get another heart max up here, which is really conveniently placed right before boss. One thing about this game is that it places those HP max and heart max ups like in really nice spots, like for the run, so that like once you're running low, we can instantly just pick up one for a refresh. But this is Rusalka. We're using that giant scythe Union to just do tons of damage to her of 153, and then we are going to be crouching in front of her and trying to deal damage with the scythe glyph here. One thing Lonely picked up earlier was the battle boots. That increases her strength. It's one of the only strength increasing shoe item in this game, and it's useful because like without it we would be doing about 3 or 4 less damage here.
That's another thing. The ticketless route doesn't get battle boots for this fight. So it's another time save for getting the ticket. Nice fight.
Yeah, I think the major time loss just comes from that, essentially, if you don't get tickets. That fight can be scary, by the way, because she does this giant wave attack and the splash attack, which is they're really hard to differentiate between each other. So it's easy to get hit by that, and you can only take like 2 hits there from the big attack and the small attack before you're dead. Another HP max up here, and we're using that Dominus glyph to kill these starfish in one hit, because they are actually weak to the glyph. It deals dark damage, and they're weak to darkness. Saving that kid there. And we're making our way to the next area.
Something I haven't talked about yet, or we haven't talked about yet, is the double jump. Whenever you land from a double jump dive kick, you have to jump to cancel your landing line. Kind of like Symphony of the Night. This is the only one of these handheld games that has a double jump with that property.
I actually learned like in Dawn of Sorrow and Julius mode, like
Oh, you're right.
the dive kick there.
Only one
Yeah.
of the like main character modes, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, this room is really mean, by the way. As you saw, there's a bunch of those RNG skeletons up there, and they can respawn wherever they want, and if they knock you down, that's a pretty good time loss. Luckily that didn't happen here.
And I pick up
Alright,
the
and we're gonna
tower
regenerate our
ring,
hearts.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is a really important ring for this run. Probably, maybe the most important. It allows us to take minor damage without flinching. I equipped it immediately, so you're gonna see it in a bit here.
Yeah, one thing though is that those giant enemies right there, those don't actually, aren't affected by the tower ring. You're still gonna take knockback damage from that, but every other smaller enemy, it allows us to just walk through them, and we'll still take damage, but it won't slow us down. A trade-off of this, though, is unfortunately that we do have lower defenses. It lowers our defense to like pretty much 1 or 2 or something, and if we can barely take any hits that are uncontrolled, or else we'll be in a bad spot.
Here I'm gonna pick up both Sakara, the powered up sword blade. Actually didn't get the regular sword blade, so it's our first sword blade. But the next boss is weak to slash, so...
Yeah, I think the regular sword glyph is actually an RNG drop, and we don't really kill those enemies at all. These ectoplasms are kind of mean. Basically what they do, so I don't think I actually mentioned what's going on with MP bar on the top. Basically every action Shino does in this game, like attacking and even our backdash cancels, uses MP, and so we have to do some subtle MP management throughout the entire run to make sure we have enough of MP to get by. And those ectoplasms drain it completely if you get hit by them by cursing you.
Yeah,
here we go, this is Goliath, which is a scary fight.
Oh, oops.
So essentially here we're going to be using the sword unit we just got to deal a lot of damage to him. He's a giant, so naturally he's going to be doing a lot of damage to Shamilla, and he has all these like giant big attacks that are going to probably kill us in 2 hits if we get by them, so we want to avoid that. Right there, Lonely did a relatively new trick that was learned from the any % runners. Basically, you can crouch in front of him, like near his toe, and his command grab will be avoided, and you get free damage that way. Normally, the game wants you to just like back off and wait for him to just jump over you, but with that toe attack, we can just avoid it entirely. But that was a good fight.
Yeah, not bad. There's that small mishap.
And we got a
at the
right
beginning.
side kill here.
Yeah, right side kill
Yeah.
is good. You can move the room faster.
Second Dominus piece here, the meatball, or the giant fireball of Dracula.
I will be using that on the next boss. So.
And now we're in Trista's House. So this is a lot more of a technical area in terms of movement. We're going to be using the tower ring here to just go through like these spiders and everything with Magnus canceling. There's a lot of vertical section in this area, and we have to make use of dive kicks in order to efficiently go through it. Here's a giant skeleton we saw from early game. It's now a regular enemy here. Castlevania likes to do that a lot, where they put late game enemies in early game. And we're going to scale this ice waterfall here to get a very important lift for this run called Volgrando. It gives us an ice attack, and when combined with a melee weapon, it's really good. Also, that jump Lonely just made there from the top of that screen, that can be deceptively hard.
Yeah, it's always scary.
You have to, like... Yeah. I've actually been doing runs recently, and I failed that like 3 times in a row, and it's been like it's been really weird. It's so hard to do for some reason.
Yeah, you definitely go through phases with that, where it's like you never fail it, and then you could start failing it one day.
Yeah, it's so
That's
weird.
how it is for me.
You mind if I sneak in a donation? Real
Yeah,
quick?
go for it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we have a $5 anonymous donation that says, I heard we're trying to allow some glitches. And anonymous, we are indeed. In fact, we are 30 out of $100 toward allowing some glitches with a Castlevania Order of Ecclesia glitch exhibition by our very own currently running Lonely. So if you want to see that, $70 more will get us there. Get those donations in. Make sure you not only put them toward that incentive target, but also put them toward the poll right now for Death's Door game language, and all of that will go toward our $1,100 milestone goal of putting on the leprechaun hats in Stardew. We are right at the halfway point of the estimate for this game, and Lonely, how is this run going? How does it feel compared to
This one's good.
estimate?
Like,
Okay, it's a good one?
yeah.
So we probably have even less than 30 minutes to get those donations in chat. We are at crunch time. If you want to see that donation incentive met, if you want to see that glitch exhibition, we're giving you a chance. We're trying to allow glitches, despite everyone telling me that none of them were allowed.
So here's going to be Dominus Anger on the fish. I have to listen there to make sure both hits connect, and they did. Getting hit was a little unfortunate.
Yeah, so this sandfish is weak to Messir, the hammer glitch, so we're going to be using giant unions again to kill it. It can be a bit RNG based where he appears on the ground. Sometimes he'll appear and do this attack right here, or sometimes he'll just like go off to the side and do a attack that takes like 300 years to finish. Luckily we're having a good pattern here, and Lomi's able to get a lot of hits in. And I think it should finish off right here, yeah, nice. That was a really good fight.
Ooh, if that killed me, I would have cried.
That's actually happened to a lot of runners from what I've seen.
I think it's a rite
they
of
die
passage
sometimes.
in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. Dying after the boss is dead. Alright, so here we're going to use more towering movement to just damage boost these guys. And get to the later half of the mid-game. And before we go to the main area of this entire game, Dracula's Castle. But we're going to regen hearts here, and we're going to go to the initial area in order to trigger a attack to access the next area of the game.
There's some weird frame perfect attack where you can skip cutscenes faster. I didn't get anything.
Yeah, I don't actually know how it works. I've never actually done it myself.
Yeah.
But I think it's just like there's a few frames of a cutscene where if you skip it, there's none of that like that fade in and out,
Yeah.
basically.
It saves like actually a good amount of time, like a second or two. But
Yeah,
it's really
if you can get them consistently.
It can also happen.
The problem is there is also a risk to it.
Yeah. It can also happen on the very first cutscene of the run. And
Yeah.
throws you off if it happens.
Yeah, it tends to happen in that intro cutscene. It just everything's happening so fast, and then you miss input at the start. The reason why there's a risk for those cutscene skips, though, is because like you can actually infinitely loop a lot of cutscenes in this game, and I've done it before.
Yeah. And just be looking
especially
at
with those
chat or
villagers
something,
saving cutscenes.
and just
Yeah.
looking at cutscenes.
This is probably my favorite area in the game, by the way, in terms of movement. We're using a lot of dive kicks and backdash cancels just to get through those enemies there. And it just looks and feels really nice to pull off when you actually do it. Alright, here we go. We're on the final area of this first half here. Some more scary enemies, but overall we're at good health, so we don't have to really worry about dying here. Also, there's a cat up there, if you heard that meowing. Earlier we picked up this glyph called Volhasta. Essentially it's a spear glyph that does slash damage. It's gonna be better for our sword here. So Loney's gonna start off with doing some meatball attacks on Albus. Great soundtrack, by the way, right now.
Best song in the game.
Arden? I was not looking at chat, so I did not hear that there was a raid, but oh, it's a Lechat raid! We had a 566 person raid from Lechaton.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, Lechat chat. Hey, Lechat, you know what y'all are gonna love? We have a bid war open right now to choose the language for the Death's Door run later, and you'll never guess which language is one of the options. If I wait for the stream delay for someone to reply in chat, it's gonna be weird, so I'll just pretend someone said French. You're right, it's French! Isn't that wild? I know the chat would love to see Death's Door in French. So get some donations in to push that bid war toward French. Korean is currently in the lead, but French could get there. And if you put that donation toward the current target incentive, you can also see a glitch exhibition from our current runner, Lonely, showing off some of the glitches of Order of Ecclesia. And if we hit $1,100, we will not only get that glitch exhibition, but we will also get leprechaun hats in the Stardew run. So if you want Lisathon in a leprechaun hat, and you want Death's Door in French, and you want Order of Ecclesia, but glitchy, get those donations in, make it happen. And even if you are not able to donate, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate y'all hanging out.
So a lot happened during that spiel. You want to talk about the quick kill that I did?
Yeah, sure. So Lonely changed her controls there to do quick backdash cancel kills. Essentially, we are using this glyph that Albus killed us when, not killed us, Albus gave us when we killed him, called Dominus Agony, and that gives us it gives a huge boost in all of our stats universally in our attack stat, but also actively drains our health at the same time. So we have to really be fast with how quick we use our unions. But yeah, we combined the ice and the sword glyph there to do a giant ice sword with Dominus Agony that killed Albus, or killed Barlow in a couple seconds there. And here, Lonely is going to be using a different form of backdash canceling called Scudum canceling. It's pretty similar to what we saw earlier with Magnus canceling, but slightly slower. Basically, the Scudum glyph also cancels her backdash, allowing her to move like we were seeing before.
Yeah, it has some weird properties with like slopes that make it a little slower, but
Yeah.
it's just the best compromise for being able to do the quick dash.
Mm-hmm. This area is a bit scary. Those ghouls right there, we talked about poison damage earlier being very detrimental. Those guys do 53 damage, and they also poison you, so you gotta watch out for that. And they're also RNG spawns, so that's fun.
Wow, I can't believe that guy hit me. Give me
Yeah,
all
I
the
can't believe
last
that was
break.
Yeah, like right on the room transition.
Should be fine. Pick up an HP
Yeah,
max.
we got HP max up here, so if you can survive up until this point, the castle becomes a lot safer. Not completely safe, but it becomes a lot more manageable. There's that enemy from the early game that we saw.
Would not survive.
Takes a lot of practice too.
Yeah.
Alright, here's Wallman, and he's a very silly guy. He throws a bunch of bombs at us, and then he hides into a wall, and we just trap him in there, and that's the entire boss fight. We pick up this glyph called Parries, which allows us to basically copy what he does of moving through walls, and we're going to be using that to progress to the castle a lot later. So one thing to know is that Ecclesia has a lot of gates blocking us, and namely there's a gate later on called the Cerberus Gate. And in order to get that, we need to go through the entire castle and get 3 glyphs, basically to unlock the final area. So we're about to get this first one right here, in a couple rooms. A lot of scary enemies here. These guys will kill you really quickly, especially with towering on. Yeah, here's our first service of Dextroacustos. I need 2 more.
And you can really see magical things coming in handy. Just instant
Yeah.
word back to the village.
But if we didn't have a ticket, we would have to go all the way to the warp, which is like so many rooms away, and it's just super slow. So luckily we can just instantly go back.
We still have relatively slow movement at this point compared to what I'm going to have later. So we just
Yeah.
be very slow without tickets.
Going back to the start here, we have to actually go through this area again just so we can go through a alternate pathway up here. I think we forgot to mention the tasty meat earlier.
Yeah.
Lonely broke that little ledge earlier to get this item called the tasty meat, which heals 290 HP, and we're going to be using that for a very important boss later on.
We have just crossed the 40-minute mark, folks. We have a 60-minute estimate, but I'm told by our runner that we're probably going to be a little early because they are feeling good, feeling great
Barring some,
right now.
some plastic lonely throwing, this should be like a 55.
Ooh, oh, called out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hopefully not.
You think your friends are here to support you, and then
I believe. But at the same time, the endgame on this run's really hard, so we'll see.
But yeah, since we've crossed that 40-minute mark, we've got less than 20 minutes left to get that glitch exhibition unlocked. So if you want to see Lonely show off some glitches in this otherwise glitchless marathon, get those donations in for Go Rescue Pet Adoption Center.
Alright, so one thing during that we picked up was called the Night's Go glyph. It's the best glyph in the game by far. It is a giant laser that does multi-hit fire light damage, and when combined with a weapon glyph, its union is a giant lightsaber that does the same amount of absurd damage. And we're going to be taking advantage of that for the entire run from here on out. And you're actually going to see Lonely pretty much annihilate a boss with it, hopefully upcoming. But it's also the hardest quick kill in the game.
Pretty hard to quick kill. It's going on in practice. So.
I will take your
Yeah, so this is Blackmore. We have like only a couple seconds to deal 4,000 damage to him, so.
Easy. Not scary at all.
Good.
I didn't even have
so the reason why that's so hard.
Really good.
Yeah, that was really good. The reason why that's so hard is because like Agony is constantly draining our health, and Blackmore, if you kind of mess up the start of it, he can do like these meteor attacks or any attack and just like hit you and pretty much kill you instantly because there's so much damage at this point. So we need to like take advantage of really quick movements and backdash cancels to get all those lightsabers and lasers out in order to kill him pretty quick. Alright, but in a couple minutes now, the run's about to become pretty crazy.
Yeah, this is where the run picks up a lot.
We're using that wall glyph we got earlier to just get through into this secret area here. You're actually not... This isn't actually required to beat the game, but it gives us a lot of movement options that speeds up the process. Like this one right here called Rapidus Vio. It is a dash that Shanoa is given that allows her to move like 3 times faster on ground. With this like green aura around her.
Shanoa's aura farm.
Yeah. Oh, did you get the Rapidus activate? Nice.
So one frame right here where you can activate Rapidus early, save like a second.
I have no idea how to do that consistently. I kind of like.
Oh yeah, I just hit the button too. That was total luck.
But yeah, this is the training hall. There's a bunch of traps around here that we have to use Magnus and Rapidus Theo in order to get around. And it can be pretty dangerous because if you get hit, stuff does a lot of damage here, which is a very common thing in this game. Like those guys on the bottom, which will 2-shot you. And if you don't get killed by them, it's going to make the rest of this area a lot harder anyway, so you really want to avoid that. But yeah, we're using our the glyph from the start, Magnus, to just platform across here. and get through this area as quick as possible, along with that shield union that I talked about when we got it. Like that. You just get through the fire.
I'm gonna shield with you.
This room can be tricky.
Fine.
Yeah.
Always know
Yeah,
your
that room is
backups.
scary because you have a really tight time limit to get through that without like getting hit by the fire there.
A potion, please?
No potions.
Surely this last one. Oh, okay, that's a little scary, but it'll be fun.
Do you want to talk about Redire?
Yeah, so Redire, or Redire, whatever you want to call it, it's a portable magnet that you can use in combination with magnets to, basically fling yourself around really quickly. The trickiest movement tech in this game, pretty much by far, but once you master it, it looks really cool.
Probably the trickiest in like the entire franchise, except for like stuff happening in Symphony of the Night, basically. It's really hard to master this movement tech, but once you do, Shinoa just like flies through the entire game so quick. But unfortunately there is a trade-off here. We're going to be using the tower ring to just negate all knockback from a lot of these enemies here. But as you can see, Loney's health is already super low, and it's only going to get lower as we damage boost through all these enemies. Luckily though, she didn't use her tasty meat earlier, so we have extra healing to get by here.
Scary.
Why is menuing the most fun part of speedrunning?
See, I don't know if I agree with that.
I love menuing so much. Yours is so smooth every time you're using a potion. I'm like, ah, yeah, menu strats, let's go.
Thank you.
You really gotta master the menuing of this game because there's so many. Just like you have to go down like so many pages to get some glyphs. It's like it can eat a lot of your time if you're not great at it.
My kind of game.
Here we're gonna be picking up this piece of armor called the Valkyrie mail.
I did not mean
What it does
that should be
is
fine. I didn't mean to use that, but it should be fine.
This gives us a boost of our defense, and allows us to take a lot more hits comparatively to not having it equipped. Alright, now we're in the mechanical tower. This is another scary area, mainly because you see all those spikes everywhere. You can easily fling yourself into that with Redire and then take a lot of damage, like 73 or something. So we want to avoid that as much as we can.
I am gonna take the health max up here because I got double Medusa head control actually.
Yeah, these Medusa heads are RNG. You really can't do anything to avoid them. If they're in your path, you're gonna get hit. And what's even worse is that some of them can petrify you, the yellow ones.
That was funky.
Which, by the way, petrification, Shinoa turns into stone and then he's stuck for like a couple of seconds there. And you have to mash out of it. Here we have the next most important item in the second half of this run. Oh, there's a petrification right there. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But Death Ring. So Death Ring, when equipped, Shinoa will die in one hit no matter what. But it does a lot of damage to bosses. Like it increases our stats immensely. So we're gonna be taking advantage of that and to do even more quick kills. But we want to make sure we don't take any hits while we have it on, because Shinoa will die if that happens.
Folks, we're coming up on the 50-minute mark. We are in the last 10 minutes of the run. We're still $70 away from that glitch exhibition and from the leprechaun hats. But chat, I've seen you do worse. I've seen you do ridiculous things before. You always come through for me, chat. I believe in the dream. Get those donations in. Make sure you get it put toward the target and toward the bid war, and you'll get that milestone as a cheeky little 2-get-1 free bonus.
Glitches in this game are really cool. I definitely recommend donating for it. Okay, if we only want to talk about the death kill we just had.
Yeah, so death can definitely troll you and do a lot of insta kills because we have the death ring equipped. Thankfully, he gave me a pattern that wasn't too bad. I did have to cancel a little bit differently than I normally do, but I got the kill first try, so I'll take that, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely the place you want to safety save, because it kind of is up to like RNG if you just want to survive or not. He's not a nice guy.
Yeah, in theory, you should always be able to live, but it requires some very fast reactions.
Yeah. Coming up on the second to last area here, we are going. It's called the Arms Depot. There's some giant enemies here we have to maneuver around with Redire. Like these guys where we just go above them, and then this guy right here where we do the same. These skeletons, these giant skeletons here, their hitbox actually isn't active on their feet when they're like starting to aggro you. So just like that right there, we can go through their feet with a Redire. And here we're coming up on probably the coolest and most iconic kill in the entire game. It's one of the fan base's favorite ways to kill this boss, because a lot of people hate this boss.
Yeah, so this is normally a Shadow of the Colossus type boss where you have to kill different parts of it. But with Redire, we can do something pretty neat. Just go right to the top.
Good job. Yeah, just fling yourself up there and then lightsaber him to death, and it's really satisfying and fun.
And once
He can troll you though.
Yeah.
Sometimes he just like waits at the start for like a good like 5 seconds before he actually does the attack that you want for some reason. And he can also clip you as you go over his eye up there. Alright, we're coming in on the last area of the run here.
Yeah,
So
only like a minute or so left. 2 minutes maybe.
Yeah, now's the time.
some cool tech here with these Magnus pins. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, believe in the me that
Yeah.
believes in you, chat.
Yeah, some cool Magnus tech I was gonna mention is that Lonely is like extending Shanoa really to the edge of the Magnus pin right there, and then using Redire to fling yourself off of it. It's a really good way to just get across those areas that would normally be like really hectic to do. But yeah, as I said earlier, we need those 3 wolf glyphs in order to get into this final area here. Also, the musical heads have been really mean.
Yeah.
Here we're grabbing a really important healing item for this final area called the Ice Beam. We might not even need to use it. I think you have extra healing, but if not,
I will probably need to use it because I only had tasty meat because I accidentally used the super fruit.
Okay, yeah.
But should be fine.
Yeah. Regardless, it's very important because this is the final area of the game, so everything hits really hard here.
Oh! I was gonna say, hey, we got a little closer, and then I looked up again, and we got there, so never mind.
Oh, nice.
Some of our Stardew runners who are currently sitting in setup sent some donations because they want to see some glitches.
Let's go. Good job, guys.
Yeah.
We got $25 from Mel1997 that says, I like dogs. And $50 from Terpreter. Hi, Terp. Hi, Mel. And Terp says, what's up? My name's Terp, and I like the mines, Ghostfish, and Cartney. I fear fish. I love women. Thanks for listening. Less than 3.
Alright, so final boss time. It's gonna be really quick, so get ready on time. Second menu.
We are going to use the Death Ring and the Judgment Ring that we just picked up with the lightsaber to kill Dracula in literally like 3 seconds, so... Nice.
And
Time. Nice. Oh, no, that was a 53-minute run. That's really
yeah,
good.
it's really good. That's the best time I've ever done in a marathon. So that's cool.
Let's go.
Nice.
GG's. Marathon TV.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, normally I'd ask if you have any shoutouts, but we can do that later because we got some glitches to see.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we're ready to jump into the glitch demo. Are we good? Just want to confirm.
I think our restream folks are fixing up some things with the next run. So I'm
Yeah,
sure
I know.
it'll
Next run
time
is an
to be
8-player
started.
run, so that probably requires a lot of setup. So
Yes.
all right,
A
so
couple things
yeah.
to handle.
So I'm just gonna jump into it. If you said it got met.
Yeah.
All right. So the first thing,
Yeah.
you don't pick it up in the run, but there is a glyph in this game called Ignis, and it can do some pretty funny things. If I can do it. This one might be frame rate. I'm actually not sure. There we go. So you can deload the textures in this room. Pretty cool.
Yeah, so basically Ignis, like, for some reason, some glyphs can be alter the memory values, and it allows us to do some crazy stuff like what we're about to see here.
Yeah, this can
Where
crash
we
if I don't do it
instantly kill the
right,
crowd.
but pretty fine.
This crashed like 50% of the time for me.
Yeah. So that big crab fight we did with Ignis, you can just instantly bring the elevator down and end the fight.
It was recently found that you can use the sword union to do it, but it's like frame
Yeah, it's
perfect
frame
or something.
perfect.
That's crazy.
So not desirable to do
This
in a
is
run.
traditional.
Uh,
Soon we might see someone do that in a run, though.
yeah, nobody's done it in a run yet, but surely, because you need the RNG sword drop, because there's no sword before except the RNG drop.
And now we have a pretty crazy glitch, which was probably my favorite here.
Yeah.
We are going to be exploiting a recent addition called boss rush saving and boss rush warping in order to save during boss rush and then switch to the alternate character during it. So
You want to know how to do things?
I think, yeah, you tick it first.
Okay.
Yeah, so now we're gonna save here.
So you're never supposed to leave
The boss rush.
the boss rush, yeah.
And now we're Albus, the
Yeah.
second playable character of the
Yeah,
game.
for some reason, saving in boss rush, if you select boss rush again, you transform into Albus in the boss rush. Ooh, that was a good fight.
And there's some interesting properties with Albus here. So earlier, Lonely had this glyph called Arma Felix equipped, I think. And what that's going to allow us to do, Albus is going to switch to a different gender here.
Yeah. Ooh.
And now he should know him.
And that's actually
Yeah,
used in
because
the
you can
no
see
memory corruption speedrun.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's
cool.
it's a really important glitch.
Because it is basically like the only way you can fight Eligor quickly.
Yeah, because
And,
we don't pick up Redire in that route.
Yeah, and beating these bosses in boss rush opens the gate, which is extremely weird. But
Yeah, there's so many weird properties with the glitches in this game.
especially related
But
to boss
now
rush.
we're going.
And I'm gonna show off.
Now we're going to use something really crazy.
Well, I'm gonna do flying Elvis thing.
Can't believe Castlevania Order of Ecclesia said trans rights. That's so cool.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so this is actually my favorite glitch. I was lying earlier. This is my favorite glitch. It's called Flying Albus, I like to call it.
Yeah, so I'm
We're
actually
gonna
gonna
use
get
the
out of
same
boss
exact
rush a
method.
different way with wing zips.
Yeah. So basically, the wings have weird property with dive kicking. You can just dive kick through walls with doors on them for some reason. So we're going to save again. We're going to go back into boss rush as Albus. And we're going to activate those wings. And yeah, now we can just do a flying, spinning flame click.
Yeah, the
forever.
flame kick is programmed to never end unless you hit the ground. So
Yeah,
you can with wings you can just keep flying infinitely.
and just kill everything so quick. I don't know what the world record is for Course 2. I recently got like a 23-second time with this setup, but
Yeah, I don't know.
it's like
Wild.
it's really fast.
Do y'all keep boards for your meme categories? Like that?
We do have a boss rush leaderboard, but no one submits to it.
Yeah, it's not really that like popular because like they're really quick and the main game's probably more fun for a lot of people.
So shout out to Lunix who did Grand Glitch boss rush in about like a 10-second time, because you can just use
Oh,
the
wow,
ticket
okay.
glitch to instantly work to the final boss or final boss.
Was that
and
with
boss
Course
rush.
2?
That was Course 1.
Oh, okay.
That's absurd. That's wild.
Yeah, so we're just like, oh, Death's trolling
Yeah,
here by
he
being
went
off
off
screen,
screen.
but yeah, no one is a match for flying Albus kick here.
Even Dracula.
Oh, that's good RNG
Yeah.
right there, by the way. Him spawning in the center. Let's end this really quickly.
No win cycle.
How unfortunate. Yeah, and the main thing to know is that you have iframes during those, so it's like nothing really will mess with you.
Oh, it's like Descending Dark and Hollow Knight.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's all
Anyone in chat got the copy pasta for me?
Alright, and we're going up to our last glitch, which is the major recent find called hyperspeed. Oh, you gotta do some boss rush, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, do you know why I'm turning into Albus here?
Yeah, so basically you have to, it's because your last save was in boss rush, so you gotta resave with Shino, I
Thank you.
believe. Yeah, so you do that and then you reset.
I am not an 90% runner, so a lot of this stuff is very foreign to me.
Yeah, so we can go into boss rush here. Yeah, we should be Shinoa. Now you can go to the map. There's an off-screen pin here that we're going to get.
Like pixel perfect.
Yeah, there we go. And then we're going to go to the next page on the map screen. And yeah, and we're gonna hit the third pin. We're going to back out of the map screen. Go back to the map screen. And then we're going to, we should be able to move that pin to the top leftish here.
Yeah, it doesn't, for this it doesn't matter exactly where, right?
No, it's actually position dependent.
But it's not like pixel perfect, right?
Yeah, it's not like pixel perfect. You can just move that third pin roughly like on the top left corner. Like not like near the edge. But like, you might have to redo it because that was actually weird. I don't know why it showed all 4 pins there. This is pretty tricky to get. Like, it's honestly really hard to position. Yep, we're gonna try it again here. Okay, so
I forgot to. Should be fine. Just the doors.
it's fine. You can do it again here.
So what moving the first pin does is it opens the doors in boss rush, which is not supposed to happen.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that. Now go to the second screen. Left screen. Yeah. And then
Pin 3.
we hold on those.
Hold on pin 3.
And then yeah, now back out. Yeah. And yeah, now. So yeah, that screen right before you move the pins, you want to be on that.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're moving fast, actually.
Yeah. Super fast. And yeah, so this is how any percent pretty much just goes. Like, you just are this fast, you can go through every single area in like 2 seconds. But it's so hard to control, and it's really prone to crashing the game.
Yeah. You also can't pause and open the menu. You can only do like an Albus mode pause.
Yeah, and you can't even change the glyph sleeve because Albus doesn't have any glyph sleeves. So you're kind of stuck in this.
So yeah, this is
and if you save the game, you'll crash it.
Yeah.
Too,
so what you have to end up doing is transforming into the cat with the Felix glyph. But yeah, this is a super cool glitch, and the boss rush timer is still on screen because, of course. Yeah, this is completely broken any percent. It allows you to, if you set up your physics correctly, which I did not. I just aimed for any given speed pixel. But there's some pixels that allow you to zip around. Ooh, this is a cool like front slide. There's some physics that allow you to zip around. And you can skip areas with that. So yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, for context, in any percent, you can dive kick off a chair, and you go to the final area basically, and then you can go kill Dracula in like 2 seconds. It's really interesting. I would definitely check out that run if you guys are interested in the glitch of this game more.
Any percent world record. Very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, quick shout outs. I know I went a little long on the glitch demo. Sorry about that. Thank you for donating for the glitch demo. Shouts to all the Stardew runners who helped get that. Be sure to stick around for their 8-player run. I'm sure that's going to be awesome. Shoutouts to Curvon for the commentary. You did great. Shoutouts to everyone who speedruns this game. Really awesome community. Especially Apple for You. They're a really dedicated runner of this game who currently has the world record with a 47. And yeah, one last shout out is I got the amazing opportunity to be on the game selection committee for this marathon. And it was really awesome getting to see everyone's runs. The submissions were really cool, and I'm really proud of the list we put together. And I think this marathon is really great, so keep donating. And yeah, that's it for me.
Me as well. I have nothing else to say.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, both of y'all. Fantastic run. Congrats on the in marathon PB. And the glitch exhibition was phenomenal. Y'all, if you know me and you know the kind of speedrun content that I love, you know that I am an agent of chaos, and there's nothing I love more than a run being completely unhinged. So you better believe I am excited about 8-player fish tank bundle Stardew Valley with basically just the people I hang out with at conventions. And one of them I hang out with in person, actually, 2 of them. It's just my friends. So if you want to see my friends do some dumb stuff, it's going to be absolutely incredible. I will be with you in chat watching it all go down. But I am, of course, leaving you in some incredibly capable hands with our next host. So I'm going to throw y'all over to the break screen for just a second, and we will be back very soon with some Stardew Valley. All right, everybody, as promised, I have been joined by an exceptional person, host, talker, lovely individual. I'm leaving you in the capable hands of the lovely Doodleplex.
Hello, hello.
Are you so
Hel-
excited for the most chaotic hour of your life?
Yes, definitely. 100%. I cannot tell you how excited I am for the next hour of my life. I have seen things and I cannot wait for everyone else to see these things because they are amazing things. just I it's like you can only hear my voice, but I'm literally going like being very animated. Like my hands are in the air. I'm excited. Everyone else should be excited. I cannot wait.
I'm excited for you. I was saying to Doodle when we were just like saying hello and still muted that like I can't decide if I would rather be hosting this because I'm like, oh my god, this would be so much fun to host, or if I'm excited that I get to just sit and chat and watch the chaos happen. So I somehow envy you and I envy chat at the same time.
Everyone wins here.
Everyone wins when there's massively multiplayer online Stardew Valley.
Definitely. I just
Have
the cast of
so much
characters that
fun
we
with it.
have is just amazing.
Truly 8 of the best people I know.
Yep.
Like
It,
I was saying in the break screen before, like these are just the people I hang out with at like GDQ and like other events. Like these are just the people I choose to spend time with. So I am not just playing it up for the marathon when I tell
mm-mm.
chat like this is gonna be the best hour. I
I,
truly love all these people so much.
yeah, I got to meet some of them for the first time this past AGDQ, and they are just such amazing, wonderfully kind people. This run is amazing. I cannot wait for everyone to see it. It's just a great time full of friends and fish and shenanigans, and no one's going to want to miss this. No one at all.
We'll have
So,
so much fun with it. I will see you in the chat side.
alrighty. Why don't you take a break, Happy? I got it from here. So, like I said, friends, my name is Doodleplex. If you're just joining us, we are No Glitches Allowed 2025 raising money for Go Rescue Pet Adoption Center. Now, if you're just joining us, maybe you don't know what that is, and let me tell you, I'd love to tell you about it. In 2011, a local woman named Georgia Obanez lost her home, and her only focus became how to prevent her family dogs from going back to animal control. Starting out with just an empty shell of a building, kind of like the building in Stardew Valley where we put bundles into. Go Rescue soon became not just a place for her current rescues, but a shelter that has grown to over 2,000 dogs to date with no signs of showing down. And if you guys want to help out, donate towards this amazing cause, all you need to do is exclamation point chat donate and put your money in to help out so many good boys and girls, so many good dogs, so many. Love them all. Love dogs, love cats, love fish, love fishing. So I'm going to go check on our fisher peoples and I'll be right back with all of you. Before I leave, I just want to request I love puns, chat. I love them a lot. And I bet you can just drop me a line, drop me lots of fishing puns. Hit me up. Love to give me some puns. So like I said, gonna step away, check on our fisher peoples, and I'll be right back. Get me those puns, chat. Hello again, chat. We are almost ready to cast our lines into the wonderful world of Stardew Valley. Before we get there, there's something I want to mention really quickly. I've heard from a little bird, that rhymed, not intentional, but hey, that we have a new milestone open, $1,300 total. If we get that, the run after this, Rift of the Necrodancer, which again, animated hands here, you can't see, but I've seen things in chat. You want to see this. We're gonna have a bonus impossible showcase. Rift of the Necrodancer, awesome music, banging good time, which is musically fun. And you just chat. There's just so much good stuff coming in. Put your donations in to miss none of it. Trust me, we've got so much good Stardew. We've got so much good Rift of the Necrodancer. I just can't wait for all of you to experience it. So please, exclamation point donate in the chat to see all the cool things we have for you. I'll be right back with our Fisher Peoples.